This week on Crypto Unqualified, Bitcoin has finally bounced. Now what? We discuss a brand new option for using your cryptocurrency just like you would a debit or credit card.
Crypto terms for the newbie. Say that.
No,
Yeah.
Crypto terms for the newbie. The noobs, noobers.
Big noob.
Big noob.
Big noob.
Coming up next.
Hang on.
No.
Coming up next on Crypto Unqualified. Welcome to Crypto Unqualified.
Yep. Welcome to Crypto Unqualified.
Today is July 21st, Saturday, July 21st, 2018.
My name is Nathan.
And my name is Benjamin.
Benjamin, what are we going to talk about today?
So we're basically just going to touch on a couple of different things. Bitcoin on a tear, why you should use crypto and how to do it, and a couple of different options for that, one of which I posted to our group message. I also tweeted about it. It looks really awesome. What's fueling the Bitcoin rally, and a bunch of other really awesome stuff.
You are a technical guy, so I know you like to look at the charts and see, what might be happening. And so, do you have an idea on why it might be rallying? I think it has a lot to do with the potential ETF.
They've tried to push ETFs before.
The one that's gotten the closest so far is the Winklevoss. How do you say that?
Winklevi.
Winklevoss.
Winklevoss.
So the one that's been going through the process the longest is the Winklevoss Bitcoin ETF, Winklevoss Bitcoin Trust coin. That's been going on for about 3.5 to 4 years. They've been trying to get that ETF passed, but the CBOE just applied, and a lot of people think that the SEC might approve of it. I don't know why they think that, but I think one of the reasons was the SEC said they wanted to hear from the public in regards to this ETF, and I think they got a lot more feedback this time than they have in the past. A lot of people got back to them with positive things to say.
So the CBOE applied to create a blockchain ETF or a
Bitcoin ETF. Now they already have a futures contract.
Okay, so quickly, the CBOE is just an abbreviation, an acronym for the Chicago Board Options Exchange, and it offers options contracts on hundreds of stocks and exchange traded funds, as well as several of the most popular stock indexes. So a stock index is just a conglomerate of a bunch of different stocks. Like the S&P 500 is, and I don't know what the requirements are for the S&P 500 exactly, but it's like 500 of the highest performing stocks.
You got to be doing really well.
Yeah. So they want to push a Bitcoin ETF. And I think, if with them being, they are Wall Street. That's quintessential Wall Street. Whereas, someone like the Winklevoss twins, they're just, crypto guys with a large stake in Bitcoin. They want a further blockchain, obviously, but they're not a massive Wall Street institution. And they've been trying for years to get an ETF pushed through, and it's failed. I think this type of a situation is more likely to succeed.
Well, they've got to have a plan on how they can protect the Bitcoin. That with the ETF they have to actually physically have the Bitcoin. And I understand they have some pretty high tech vaults that they're proposing. So the CBOE was one, and the CME were one of the two last year that launched a futures contract. And just for anybody out there that doesn't know what the Bitcoin futures was, I do have an explanation here I can read and maybe make more sense of it.
Yeah.
It says, because I could not explain it well. It says futures are not just for physical assets. They can be traded on financial assets as well. With Bitcoin futures, the contract will be based on the price of Bitcoin, and speculators can place a bet on what they believe the price of Bitcoin will be in the future. In addition, it enables investors to speculate on the price of Bitcoin without actually having to own Bitcoin. Whereas an ETF you will essentially be buying into a fund that's backed by Bitcoin.
Right. I mean, futures is exactly what it sounds like. You're buying or selling the possibility of what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, let's go back to what you were going to do.
We kind of buried the lead, but Bitcoin's on a tear. So what comes next? The answer is wait and see. Looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart, which I have been known to do during our shows, we can see that the SCMR trends indicator is painting this weekly Bitcoin candle blue, which is a potential bullish reversal. But don't count your chickens till they're hatched. So I've been saying, for weeks now, if you're buying right now, you're an idiot. And that comes with caveats, of course, and we never got into it at the time when I was, making that statement. But if you're scaling a position in right now into Bitcoin, it's not a bad idea. It's down. Is it as far down as it's going to go? I have no idea. But, scaling in positions while the market is descending is a great idea. And then exiting those positions while the market goes up is, also a great idea. You shouldn't be buying, when the market has rallied for 3 months and is at the top. And that's what most people typically do, and it's statistically proven.
That's unfortunate.
Trading is a zero-sum game, and that's the unfortunate reality. I mean, the best thing to do if you're a fan of Bitcoin or blockchain and you want to invest and be a part of that and potentially profit is you hodl. And
hodl. Is it hodl or hodl?
Hodl.
Hodl.
I don't know.
Hodl sounds like
Hodor.
What's that, Lord of the Rings? Kind of like,
yeah. That's
who was the
his name was Hodor.
Hodor. Oh, that's
Hodor.
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Hodor. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
So what comes next is we wait and see until there's lots of different indicators that people like to look at. The SCMR trends indicator is the one that I use to determine whether or not trend, one of the indicators I use to determine if trend has actually changed. And so far it has not. It could. We've got a bullish pattern. It's a descending wedge, and price usually breaks out of that. But that's not to say that it can't continue lower before that happens. So, as for why Bitcoin's on a tear, that's pure speculation. Coincidentally, Tether just printed a whole lot more tethers.
That's totally legit.
Yeah, I mean they needed them.
Yeah,
for something.
That's still just mind-boggling how easy they do that. It's scary.
I want to say it was like 2 days. 2 days before the rally.
I feel like that's the one thing that could just really screw Bitcoin. More than anything right now, any news, anything, I feel like it's just like, oh, by the way, Tether is a scam.
I mean, I feel like people know that it's a strong possibility. I'm not saying one way or another if it is. I have my opinion. My opinion is pretty well known, but people will invest in a Ponzi knowing full well that it's a Ponzi because you can still make money on a Ponzi scheme.
If you're in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about something positive. I got the top 5 gaining coins in front of me right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Number 1 gaining coin of the day, Sentinel Protocol, up 26%. Coming in at number 2, we've got Quark Chain, up 15%. Number 3, Omizi Go, 17% gain.
Is that Omizi or is it Omice?
I don't know.
I've never said that out loud before.
Again, I mean, it's
that's OMG.
Open for interpretation.
Yeah, that's the ticker symbol is OMG.
Yes. Coming in at number 4, 0x at 10%. And then number 5, which I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are glad to see this, is VeChain, up 11%. This is just 24 hour. Yep, 24 hour. But VeChain had taken a pretty good dive over the last week. and I was disappointed because I have VeChain, and they just launched their mainnet, and I thought they'd be doing better.
Sell the news. And we talked about that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I tweeted earlier today an article that I came across just kind of in preparation for the show. It was an article created by Cory Mitchell. Let me just pull up his handle. If you want to look him up on Twitter, it's at Cory MITC, at Cory Mitk. Mitk. It's at, yeah, anyway, at Cory MITC. And it's why most traders lose money and why the market requires it. It's an awesome read. Like, I mean, it's a must read. Day trading is stupid. Investing is smart, and you have to do it wisely.
Is that kind of an overview of it?
Yeah,
Short version.
for the most part. It just kind of goes into the psychology behind why people buy when they do, and that's what drives the market.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I saw that you sent me a link, so I will check that out later. I had a couple notes here too, just of kind of terms that people that are new to the space might not understand. One of those terms I'm sure probably 99% of every viewer knows is FUD. Do you want to explain that?
FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So if you're talking to someone and you're saying something about an investment that they don't maybe like, you're just spreading FUD. No, it's not true. It's just FUD. You're just it's basically someone trying to scare you out of a position based on something that has no factual, evidence.
And can you tell everybody what that generally does to the market?
I mean, it does all kinds of things. I mean, if you can shake somebody out of their position, say, the market is going down and you have a lot of money to invest and you want it to continue to carry down into your bids, you can, hop on social media or to TradingView chat, which a lot of guys like to do, and just, and this was a thing actually when Bitcoin was going down from 1,000 on the last run up. Bitcoin is garbage. It was, totally a scam. All you guys got suckered and it's going to zero. And that kind of constant FUD will have an impact on some people, on a lot of people actually. So they are, shaken out of their position because they're seeing their account lose value. They're, whatever, upside down on a position. So they sell, and they sell into someone's bids who is in the right position. And that's, when the market will correct.
Well, I think the whole China thing last September, that was definitely a good example of FUD. China supposedly was saying they were against everything, although
China's always good for some FUD.
We that's probably a strategic move on their part. And so what would be the opposite of FUD?
There's no opposite of FUD.
Okay.
It's just actual, legitimately verifiable information. That's
true. What about the term FOMO?
FOMO is fear of missing out. And that was one. I remember the day that I asked what FOMO was, because I was in the TradingView chat. This is before I was moderating, and I kept seeing that term. Oh, it's FOMO, because the market was going crazy, because everyone had a fear of missing out on a buying opportunity, and that's the antithesis, the counterpoint to
anticipation.
Antithesis. The counterpoint to FOMO is YOLO. So when the market's going bananas and going up parabolically, that's FOMO. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, and before too long in that type of a scenario, you want to be looking to exit. But when the market's going down and people are looking to get in without real certainty that it's completely bottomed, that's a YOLO.
You only live once.
You only live once.
Isn't that a Kardashian phrase?
It's a phrase a lot of people have said before they've jumped to their death or something terrible. Maybe I should edit that out. That's pretty gruesome. That's morbid.
Yeah.
So don't YOLO, folks. Never YOLO.
Yeah, you can yodel.
Yodeling's okay.
Yeah, just don't jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you bought at 20,000, it will get back up there again.
I mean, I guess you could YOLO at the top. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. What's Eva?
So just to wrap up our crypto slang terms, mooning is, when something's mooning, it means that a coin's price is experiencing a massive spike. It's going, parabolic. It's one of those terms that is obscenely overused, but I'm still kind of fond of it.
It's like parabolic movement,
yeah,
right? Mooning.
Yeah.
Moon.
So moon for Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was $300 was $1,000. Moon for Bitcoin now is probably a total market capitalization of $1 trillion. So the moon moves. It's not supposed to move, but it moves.
We talked about this yesterday, but we screwed up the episode. We talked about the Forbes 40 under 40.
Yes.
You remember that?
I do.
So Vitalik made the list, I believe, for the third time.
And just as a refresher, the 40 under 40 is just a list of influential people in the space.
Influential people and money. It's Forbes. I got to say, it's a financial influence.
But there's no like minimum for how much money they're holding.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I didn't look more into it other than just some articles I read. But the interesting thing to me was that Vitalik, at age 24, made it for the third year in a row, and they called him this time around a skinny visionary. And last year, I believe they called him a twiggy Russian-born developer.
We need to just all agree to stop picking on Vitalik.
I mean, should he maybe get some meat and potatoes, or do you think it is what it is?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He spends too much time behind a computer and thinking deep thoughts, and we should be glad that he's doing it because we're not doing it.
Do you think he's a Red Bull or a coffee guy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He strikes me as more of a tea guy.
Could be.
Yeah.
The other person that made it is the CEO of Coinbase. This is his second time. Brian Armstrong, at the age of 34, looks like he scored 10th place this year, beating out Rihanna. That's a fact.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
He'll be climbing those ranks soon enough.
And then a third, Russian developer Pavel Durov at 33, who is looks like he is a co-founder of Telegram. And then at 24th place, there's Vlad Tenev and Baji Bhatt, 33 and 31 years old, respectively. Stanford math whizzes and co-CEOs of the brokerage app Robinhood.
And what is Robinhood? Are there a DEX?
It says these guys are co-CEOs of the brokerage app Robinhood, which has been offering a zero-fee crypto trading platform in selected U.S. states since February. The project, which recently raised $363 million in funding to expand crypto trading support U.S.-wide, has a $5.6 billion valuation that catapulted it to becoming the second most valuable American fintech startup. I did not know that.
Holy cow.
I did. That's like fresh as I read it.
We'll have to look into it.
Well, it says zero fee. I mean, that's what really stands out to me. Offering a zero fee crypto trading platform.
Huh. Yeah.
So
that's interesting. So you've got on our bullet point list, you've got who will be the best DEX exchange, and will they compete with Binance and Coinbase?
I thought we could end with that and maybe get into that next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to briefly just touch on this Fusex card. So this isn't new in terms of the idea, but it's brand new as far as the implementation. So
Ian Bellini did an ICO review on it back in February.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've heard about this?
No, only after you sent me the link today I looked at it.
And my screen's taking a little while to load up. But so basically there's the Fuse card, and it was something that I'd heard about a long time ago, actually, where it allows it's a digital device that looks just like a credit card. It allows you to store all of your credit cards in it. It's like it's like the Lord of the Rings, right? It's the one to rule them all. You've got one card in your wallet, but it is your MasterCard, your Visa, your American Express, your Costco card,
Yeah.
and it can hold all of those things in one. So just like on the card itself, you just say, oh, I want to use my Amex card for this transaction. Click. Now it's your Amex card.
You click the card?
Yeah. Swipe. So it seems to me these guys have created a version of this card for crypto where you can load it with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I think I might have even seen Doge on that video. But what was super compelling when I came across this, just rifling through Twitter, was the video of this chick going into McDonald's. She shows the card, shows it's got a Bitcoin balance, goes into McDonald's, buys a Happy Meal with it.
Yeah.
And walked out, showed the receipt, showed the card. Like that's where critical mass starts to get.
Are you going to put a link up to that?
Yeah, I'll have a link. I can't get it on the screen capture because I think I've got too much trying to go through our Wi-Fi right now. But yeah, so I'll have a link in the show notes to the Fuse card. It's the Fuse X card. Fuse.co is the website, and I'll go back in and I'll edit to have the video. Maybe I'll just cut the video in.
So I'd like to give a shout out.
I think you should,
if I could, to Data Dash. 1 year anniversary. Over 300,000 subscribers.
Why do you think that is? He's been doing, it's a YouTube channel?
YouTube channel, yep.
And he's only been doing it for a year.
Only been doing it for 1 year, and he, like Ivan on tech, he didn't initially start it for crypto. It just molded into it.
Because he just got into it.
He's a historically a finance guy. But I think one thing that he does really well is speaks pretty clearly.
I've listened to one show.
Yeah.
I don't follow Data Dash. I've heard the name and he's popular. But the one show that I did catch was very short, like to the point. He had, this one thing you wanted to get out. And I guess that's the benefit of, doing it for more than a year and having all those subscribers. You can just, if you have this one thing, like, oh, check out this Fusex card, guys. Boom. 1 10-minute video, off it goes.
Yeah.
You get 1 million views.
He does a lot of chart stuff. I mean, he definitely knows his charts.
Yeah. Which is handy, especially if you're
So yeah,
trying to
well
invest.
done, Data Dash.
Good job, guy.
Congratulations.
Don't know you, but any friend of Nate's is a friend of mine.
What else? I have a note here. It says, what does DEX mean?
What does DEX mean?
Decentralized exchange. Everybody, there's a lot of people in the space that think that this is the year for decentralized exchanges, that they're going to take over, be a leader, step in front of the centralized exchanges like Binance. I don't know if that's going to happen, but right now, like IDEX, I know is slow. I think that's the big argument for decentralized exchanges, is they're slow right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that has to change. And I thought maybe next week we could talk about some of the decentralized exchanges and some of the challenges that they're going to face.
Yeah. I'm looking at coinsutra.com/best decentralized exchanges DEX. You can Google that. I'll also put a link to it in the show notes, I suppose. That could be nice. There's IDEX. There's Waves DEX. There's Open Ledger, which I have used, and it was not easy. I actually lost for about 6 months a non-insignificant number of tokens because of an issue on IDEX or on Open Ledger. But they've got 9 different decentralized exchanges. One of the biggest hurdles is just liquidity and user interface.
I know a highly anticipated one is the Neon Exchange, the NEX, that'll be launched, I think affiliated with the city of Zion.
And that's a Neo token exchange?
It's going to be on the Neo platform, and it's NEX. Well, do you have anything else you want to cover today?
I don't.
The sun is shining.
Birds are singing.
It's heating up in here.
It is.
I think it's time to...
In the crypto layer, deep in the heart of Crypto Volcano, there is no air conditioning.
On Crypto Island.
Crypto Island. No, I think we ticked all the boxes.
Sweet. Well, let's go enjoy this sunshine.
Actually, I just thought of one that we didn't tick. For more information on if you're just getting into crypto or blockchain and you have questions, we have a resource in the making at seattlecrypto.com. It'll also be a place where you can eventually buy swag from our show. But
what does swag mean?
Swag. I don't know what it stands for, but it's just like merch, gear.
Cool.
But yeah, go to seattlecrypto.com. We've got links to people who are better qualified to explain a lot of the stuff that we just chew the fat over. You know, what blockchain is, Bitcoin under the hood, proof of work, proof of stake, all of these terms that you'll probably, if you haven't heard by now, you will be hearing. And if you want to know more about crypto, Bitcoin, blockchain, take a look at seattlecrypto.com and leave us a message. Tell us how bad we suck today.
Yeah, please. Leave a comment.
And that's it.
Or not.
Or don't.
Do we need to talk about how we're not professionals? Or is that pretty obvious at this point?
I think everyone should know we are severely...
I don't think we need to say anything.
Like, we're on the far end of the professional spectrum.
So we don't need to do a disclaimer at all because we suck that bad?
I mean, pretty much our disclaimer is on our website.
So let's go enjoy the rest of this day.
I think we should.
I got a Coca-Cola.
I do not.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We out. What the fuck are you doing?
That. Am I centered?
Yep.
Am I like this?
No, dude.
Like, is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Am I in the frame?
Yeah, no, dude, back up.
Back?
Right there. It's something about, we did a lot about terms. So
We did a lot about terms. Hang on.
Coming up next on Crypto Unqualified.
Coming up next.
Don't look at me, look at the camera.